What's going on, guys? My name is Kyle and welcome back to another Spud Cup race day. This week's turnout was fantastic with some super quick drivers out on track. So without wasting any more time, let's jump into this week's race and see how we went. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here at another Spud Cup race day. Today we are continuing in the USA and we'll be racing at Watkins Glen. Today's track length is a total of 5.41 kilometers, and with today's layout, it is definitely going to provide some very interesting racing. Having a look at our Heat 1 results now, you can see what the grid is going to be like leading into our feature race. We have a total of 20 drivers in today's race session, which is definitely a fantastic turnout, so thank you to everybody for joining us. We're leading at Jeffrey in P1, followed by Dart, Aiden, Mixter, JDM, rounding out our top 5. Underneath that, we have Matthew, myself, Bobby, Patrice, and Tim rounding out our top 10, followed by everybody else below that with CJ, Sketch, Josh, Necky, David, Patrick, Roxanne, Matthew, and everyone below that with Jake and Ethan leading out our P20. Now, without wasting any more time, we're going to jump in to the grid and get this green flag waved. So here we are on the grid waiting for the green flag to go, and it is down. The flag is waved. We are underway, ready and racing. We're on board now with Jeffrey. Having a look at his start to the race, he is out in front and come into the Spud Cup this week ready and raring to go. He is already foot flat, making a very commanding lead, getting out of the first part of this track. He's doing a fantastic job getting away from the pack and looking at everyone through turn 1. It is not death so far. Let's jump further down the pack and see how close everyone is racing so far. We've got Mixter, Aiden, and JDM all in a very tight pack leading into the first part of the bus stop. Jeffrey is already off. 1.4 seconds he has maintained and made in the first part of this track already. Mixter, Aiden, and JDM are going to be very tight going through this part of the track. Let's see how they attack the bus stop. This is going to be one of those tight moments. Aiden out in front, Mixter right behind, followed by JDM and myself right behind him. This is such a good start already. I think I've made up already a position or two leading myself. I'm right behind Mixter. Aiden still out in front. Jeffrey now 2.3 seconds ahead. He is already showing exactly what his pace is going to be like for the rest of today. Absolutely killing it so far. Aiden out in front, Mixter behind, JDM. I spin. I'm spinning already right behind JDM. I get out in the dirt and I've spun. I went from 7th to 5th all the way back down to last place. Let's have a look now up into the pack again. Everybody's out there. Necky is just past myself. I am down in absolutely dead last. Looking on board now, Mixter. Mixter has made his way up into second. He had some fantastic overtakes to get past Aiden. We got Mixter in second, Aiden, and then JDM out in 4th. This is going to be a very tight race between the three. Aiden and JDM go off as well. Aiden and JDM both in the dirt. JDM hits. We've got Tim. We've got Matthew. We've got Tim. We've also got I can't even see who else it was. This is just carnage everywhere. Who have we got in the pits now? People have gone off. It was Dart. Dart got caught up in it as well. We had Dart, Tim, and Matthew. Oh, God, it threw me with how many bloody cars were there. But that has given me a chance. I'm right behind Dart now. Look at the damage on the front of my car. There's just carnage everywhere. I can barely keep my bloody car in a straight line. Everyone's crossed the line. Jeffrey is now out 3.2 seconds ahead. This is just carnage already. Good thing it's a half an hour race. We definitely have some time to catch up with everybody. But oh my God, what a way to start. I'm heading into the pits now to get some damage repairs and get some fuel. Let's go back to Mixter and our leaders and see exactly what is going on. Actually, let's look at CJ and Patrick. CJ and Patrick are very close to each other. How are we missing them? The battle is going on here. Now, this is definitely going to be one of those parts. They're heading down into the last part of the track here where we have a nice little chicane heading into the bus stop. So you can see we're on board with Patrick. Patrick is car number 6. In P6 at the moment, right behind CJ and Sketch. Nice line through the bus stop. It's definitely a lot of pace. There is a lot of speed. Somebody's gone off already again. Oh my God, was it Matthew? Has Matthew spun? He has. Oh, there's just spins everywhere. We're only on lap 2. We're on lap 2, 2.5 minutes into our 30-minute race, and there is just spins everywhere. We have Patrice, Aiden, JDM all in the pits. I've already done a pit stop. Matthew spun. There is just carnage everywhere. It doesn't seem like anybody is safe here this weekend. Absolute insanity. Bobby, I think, is now spun as well. Bobby spun as well. Oh, God, it's just carnage across the board. Bobby is now losing positions. Matthew's getting himself back up into place. This is just absolutely insane. Let's jump to David in P7. David is right behind Josh. He is putting a little bit of pressure on here, heading into the right-hander before we go into the last section of this track. Right behind David, we have Necky, who is not holding back today. The pace that Necky has shown this entire season has been insane. We're still on looking on board with David. David's got Necky breathing down his back. Look how close Necky is chasing right behind him. He is not going to hold back. And look, he tries to get on the inside there, but he doesn't. David closes him off just slightly. We're heading now into the right-hander. This is going to be a very interesting part. David now going to the left-hander, following right behind Josh. Gets nice and close up to Josh, leading into the last turn. He makes a move up on the inside. Can he make the move stick? Can he maybe stick Higgin the inside? He does. He gets right on the inside of Josh. Josh lets him pass. Necky gets on the inside of both. And is Necky now going to make a move on both these drivers before we hit into turn 1? This is going to be very, very close. Very, very close. He gets past Josh, but he's still not close enough to David. Still not close enough to David, but he is going to definitely close that barrier as much as he can. A little bit wide there from David. Necky's still being very conservative. I can tell that Necky's not put his foot down just yet. He is trying to get in that slipstream and make the opportune pass and waiting for that opportunity to show up. And now he makes it. Up on the left side, David goes a little bit wide and Necky gets right past him through the inside here, but David is still side by side. They are side by side heading into the bus stop. This is going to be a very, very interesting turn of events depending on how they attack this bus stop side by side. Necky's out in front. David's going to tuck it behind. Necky makes just enough pace out in front before hitting the bus stop. He launches it over the first part of the section. Comes through. David spins. Oh, no, David. Oh, God. David was so close to Necky, and he just spun heading into the bus stop. That is so unfortunate. There is just carnage everywhere this week. Absolute carnage everywhere. David, I'm so sorry, bud. He's down into 10th. He's got Bobby right behind, and Roxanne is still 7 seconds ahead of David now. So he's got a little bit of work to do, but we are only 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes into this race session. He can definitely make up that time. Let's jump now to Patrick and see where he is sitting. He's about 3 tenths behind Necky. Sorry, behind CJ in front of Necky. Let's have a look now and see what he is seeing. Right behind CJ, he wants to get nice and close. He's 2.5 tenths now. We've got a right-hander, and then leading into the last part of this track, there is a lot of time to be made up in this section. CJ goes a little bit wide, gets a little bit squirrely, but it gives Patrick a chance to still stay close, nice and close to the left-hander, and this is where a lot of time gets done. If you can get a nice pace through the second last and last corner, it really sets you up for a good overtaking position on the main straight of today's race. Let's see exactly how he goes. Still sticking on with Pat. Pat's now 3 tenths. Jeffrey has just done the fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:47.2. That is absolute alien times. CJ goes very narrow on the inside. Does he get close? He does. Patrick is side by side with him. Side by side with CJ. Can he make it happen? Can he make it happen? Heading down into turn 1. They are side by side, wheel to wheel. Going on the inside. CJ has the line. Patrick goes on the outside, tucks in right behind it. He can't quite get it to happen on this lap, but he's definitely going to be nice and close and maintaining that gap so he can keep going when he gets an opportunity available. Let's jump now to Dart and see exactly where Dart's sitting. He's nice and close to Josh as well. There is a lot of tight, close racing throughout this weekend here. You can see Dart is only 3 tenths behind Josh. And let's have a look at Patrick again. Patrick is making another move. Let's jump up quickly to CJ. We are side by side again going through the bus stop. How is this going to turn out? We saw last lap with Necky and David. Oh, God, he locks up. Patrick locks up. He has to take the exit. He has to take the exit. That is going to be an unfortunate slowdown penalty for him, but he does lift off, gets right behind him. He does, oh, very, very close, though. Very, very close to Necky, but he did lose a position there, unfortunately. He does have a slowdown penalty for cutting that bus stop, but hopefully he's paid that already, so he doesn't have to scrub off any more speed. Unfortunate to lock up into that bus stop, but it is a very, very high-speed corner, high-speed section of corners, sorry, and if you don't tackle it the perfect way the first time, it makes it very, very hard to recover at such a high speed. So Patrick is now down into P6, but there's a lot of time to be catching up, so I wouldn't be stressing too hard if I was him. Let's go now to Dart up in 8th, right behind Josh still. Great battle between these two so far. Fantastic battle. He's staying nice and close, 1.5 tenths behind Josh, and I think Dart is just waiting for his opportune time. He's getting on the very middle of the track here to show Josh that he is ready to overtake, so he better not open the door and let him in. Josh is still now 3 tenths ahead. This is going to be very, very close between these two. Josh's driving and Dart's driving this whole season has just been improving week and week after week. So Dart is definitely going to try. And look, he gets nice and close here. Can he get a better run? Josh got a little bit squirrely, lost a little bit of traction. It made it hard for him to keep up. Dart is on the inside. Can he make it happen? He does. Dart goes on the inside. Josh still on the outside, but that gives Josh a good opportunity through the last turn of the track here. He's on the inside. Dart cuts out in front, gets right in front of him, goes a little bit wide to the curb, but that is it. Josh has to take an opportune inside line here. That gets Dart just out in front of Josh by 3.5 tenths. Well done. Great move by him. Fantastic move by Dart going into the head straight. That is a great, great job. Necky now overtakes CJ. Let's jump up front. Let's see CJ and Necky. They're going side by side again through the section here, through the bus stop. Let's see exactly how this goes. The pace on these two has just been insane. The liveries for both look incredible, and it is just going to be such a great side by side to the bus stop. Let's see exactly how they tackle this. CJ's still behind. He is not going to hold back. He is still right behind him. Look at Necky's pace. Necky's pace through the bus stop. He launches it like it's a bloody NASA spacecraft. You can't believe it. Can't believe it. Look how much time he's made up. Almost a second just through the bus stop alone. That CJ has got a lot of problems going to try and catch him. That is going to be a very, very hard task to give to CJ, but I believe he can make it happen. Patrick is now 7/10 behind. Let's jump to them and see how Pat's going. Patrick is 7/10, 6/10 behind CJ. He's going to be chasing him down and seeing if he can catch up. Let's see exactly how close he can get to that car before having to worry too much. Now we're going to jump down to myself. I'm down in P11. I've made my way all the way from last up to P11 after starting 7th. Not a very good start by myself, but I'm definitely getting closer. I'm now 3.5 seconds behind Roxanne. Let's see if I can get closer to Rox before we start looking to overtakes and then heading up to David and everyone else in the top 10. But so far, good recovery from myself. Good recovery from myself. Let's look now to Patrick in P6. He's still nice and close to CJ. There's some great driving and battling happening everywhere on this track. Heading into the last 2 turns now. We have a left here and then a right getting into the main straight. Let's see exactly how Pat attacks this part of the track. Nice and close to CJ. He's only a 10th and a half. Let's see exactly what goes on the last corner. Patrick goes wide, CJ on the inside, they're side by side through. Patrick just gets out in front, overtakes him on the outside of the last turn. That gives him a great run out into turn 1. Great move by Patrick. That puts him up into P5, CJ in P6, and that means Dart is now heading into the pits. We can see him heading into the pits. I don't know if there's damage or if he's trying to get some fuel. Like I said, this is a half-an-hour race, so you don't have to stop for fuel, but you may need to if you don't save it. You won't have to stop for tires. Hopefully, if your fuel can make it, you don't have to stop at all. So it's going to depend completely on people's strategy and how they're going to attack this part of the track today and see how they're going to do their strategy per race. Let's jump up now to CJ and see him battling still with Patrick. Really, really close racing across the board with these two. We have JDM down in 15th. He's about 5/10 behind Patrice. And we've got Sketchkov is 8.5/10 behind Jeffrey in P2. Mixter is now out in P1. I don't know how in the hell that happened. Maybe Jeffrey's jumping to the pits because the lead that he had was definitely going to solidify him a P1 position. JDM has just taken Matthew. Let's jump down to them. We see JDM's taken Matthew on the outside going through the last turn. Bobby is now overtaken Dart in the pits. Bobby's now made his way up into P11. Patrice, is he going to overtake? Matthew heads into the pits. Matthew heads into the pit, so now everyone is going to start getting some fuel. I think everyone's trying to be a little bit more conservative, get their fuel in, work out what their strategy is going to be, or if there's a little bit of damage to repair, now is the time to do it and get fuel at the same time. We are using fast repairs for this racing season, so all you really need to do is get in, get the fuel, and then you're out straight away. Dart is just leaving the pits now. That's going to put him out in 14th. There's nobody else too close behind him. Tim is down in 15th. Matthew is in 15th, Tim in 16th, but I don't think he's close enough to capitalize on Dart coming out of the pits now. Let's jump up to Neki. Neki is up in P4, 4/10 behind Sketch, and he is not holding back. He is ready and wants this win. He wants to take some good bloody points this weekend. Last corner now, look at the difference. You really need to get a good line out of the last corner because look at the time he's gained. 2/10, 1.5 tenths, going to be a 10th behind. Is Neki going to make a move on him before we hit into turn 1? Sketch has got some pressure on him now. He's got Jeffrey out in front. He's got Neki right behind, and Mixter is now pulling out a lead 5 seconds ahead. This is just insane pace here by Neki. He's staying nice and close to Sketchkov, almost like he's toying with him. 1/10. Let's see exactly how they're going through the bus stop. Neki has made a very good point of being quick through the bus stop in most parts of this track today, so we'll see exactly how he goes, heading side by side. He's less than a 10th. He's right on the rear. He's right on the back of Sketch. Is he going to dart up on the inside of the bus stop? He's not. He's not going to dart up on the inside. He's going to back off a little bit. Let Sketch get just out in front, but he is not going to let pass. Look how close he still is. Sketch gets a little bit squirrely through the second part of the bus stop. Neki is still 2 seconds behind. Sorry, 2/10 behind, my mistake. Nice and close. He wants to stay there and make sure that he can capitalize on the next opportunity that comes available for him, and he does that very, very, very well that we've seen throughout the most of this season. Nice and close to Sketch. Sketch is trying to be a little bit more defensive and put as much pace in as he can. I know how daunting it is to have Neki on the outside, but Neki goes here. He moves up on the inside. He makes it stick. He gets on the inside. Sketch goes a little wide. Sketch goes wide. He panics just a little bit. Neki gets out in front. I understand. Oh, Bud, the pressure of having Neki bearing down on you like that is so difficult. So difficult. Neki is now 7/10 to Jeffrey, and Sketch has got a 2.5 second distance to make up if he wants to try and capitalize on that position and gain back that P3 podium position that I know he wants to take home this weekend. What a way for an overtake for Neki. He has made a great start to get up to P3 already. 12.5 minutes into this race. Fantastic job by him. We have Roxanne in the pits. Roxanne is now heading into the pits. Matthew has made position. Tim, is he going to make position? I don't think he will. Let's have a look down at Tim. Is Tim going to get close enough to make position on Roxanne in the pits? I don't think he's going to get around close enough, but we'll see exactly how it happens. I don't know if Roxanne has to get as much fuel. I don't think so. She's out. Roxanne's back out on the track, so it's not going to be able to capitalize on that position. Fantastic livery by Roxanne, and a massive shout out to her. This is her very first Spud Cup racing event, and she had absolutely killed it. So thank you so much for joining, Roxanne. You are doing such a fantastic job, and I can't wait to see you get up on the podium for the first time this season. It's going to be amazing. Well done. Looking down now, let's have a look at Necky up in P3. He's right behind Jeffrey, 6/10 behind. Super close. I've also making a move on David. I'm 8/10 behind David. I've made my way up into P9. I don't know how in the bloody hell I've managed to do that, but I'm right behind him, 6/10. I'm going to gain some time on him. Right behind David, 5/10. What is going on? What do they put in my car? I came in to get some fuel and they've filled it with something else. Absolutely ridiculous. Going down now through turn 1, right behind Dave, trying to get as close as I possibly can. 4/10, less than that, 3.5/10. Making some very good time behind him. Let's see exactly how we can capitalize heading into the bus stop. I remember this part of the track being very sketchy. If you can stay nice and close through the bus stop section, you can make a move, but it is a very difficult part to overtake on. You can see now using the slipstream, trying to get as close as possibly can. Down now to a 1/10.5 behind. JDM has just taken Bobby as well. Great overtake by the two. I can't see exactly what happened. We're looking at this on board with myself right behind the bus stop. David gets a shallow line, gets a little bit squirrely on the grass. I get nice and close by getting a better line through the bus stop, going on the inside. Look at the overtake happening. David goes a little bit wide. I get nice pace coming through this part of the track, and I make the overtake on the inside through the carousel leading into the left-hander here, where I spun on lap 1, and that puts me up into P8 from last. I am very happy with that. After completely destroying my chance on lap 1, I'm very happy to be back up into P8. Let's have a look now at Necky and see exactly how he's going along. Right behind Jeffrey, 2/10. Now these two, the pace on these two is absolutely insane. The fastest lap so far of the race, I think, is actually held by Jeffrey with a 1:47.2, and Necky has just smashed that with a 1:46.7. I do not understand how these two are getting the pace that they are, but that is absolutely insane. 1:46.7 by Necky, now fastest lap of the race, killing it. These two are definitely a force to be reckoned with in these cars, or in any car, for example. The pace and the speed that these two have is making me unable to freaking talk, apparently. Well done to the two of them. Necky is now 1/10 behind. What is going to happen heading through the bus stop section here? This is going to be very close. David goes offline, then back onto the racing line to try and get a better run through the bus stop. So close to the barrier there. So close to the barrier, but Necky's up, still in 5th gear, now smashing through it. 4/10s. Jeffrey had a way better run through, but this is definitely putting Mixter in a little bit of a position, because Mixter is now only 2 seconds ahead of Jeffrey and Necky, and I know that that is not a place that I want to be, because if he gets close enough, if they get close enough to the behind of Mixter, which they are, 1.8 seconds, that is going to put a lot of pressure and make it a very difficult thing to stay in the lead. But well done to him. Mixter killing it halfway through this race. He is still out in front, doing a bloody great job. I don't know if he hasn't pit yet. I don't know if he still needs to pit. I'm not sure exactly what the strategy is so far, but that is going to be a very close racing between the three of them before the end of this race is over. Let's jump now to Necky, because he's nice and close to Jeffrey. We've got 2/10s behind, running through the last part, very wide on that right-hander before we head into the left here. Now this is uphill, and when you go up this hill, the tyres tend to lift up a little bit, so it makes it a little bit squirrely if you get too eager out on the throttle. It is very easy to spin on that left-hander there that we've definitely seen a lot this weekend. Matthew just completed his best lap so far of a 1:48.9. That's still incredible pace there by Matt. Well done to him. Necky is still out in front, right behind, 3/10 behind Jeffrey. Let's see how these two unfold the rest of this race. We've now got Jeffrey done his best lap, 1:47.1, incredibly quick. Necky with a 1:47.3, that is incredibly fast lap as well. Very wide turn 1, but look at Mixter now. Mixter is going to be panicking. These two have made up a whole second in the last little part of this race, and you can see them charging down behind him, and this is where Mixter is going to be in a little bit of trouble. We've got 8/10s behind. Jeffrey is going to be closing with that slipstream, and Necky is now 1.5/10s right behind David. Let's see exactly what happens between these three. This is going to be so freaking close. This is going to be so close. We've got eyes on Jeffrey right in the middle, car number 13, chased by car number 42, which is Necky. Mixter still out in front, 4/10s now. Not a super big gap, but he's getting under pressure. Now he's only got 1.5/10s, 2/10s to Jeffrey. Mixter is going to be under fire here very quickly. This is going to be very intense with the three of them. I feel so bad for Mixter, and that is not a position I would want to see myself in. Being in the lead is one thing, but having these two chasing you down is not something that I would like to be in every weekend. That is a big worry. Jeffrey in car number 13 and Necky in 42. You can see very close to that inside line there, and that is going to put Mixter in a lot of trouble. Let's see how he can carry this and see if he can stay out in front for just that little bit longer. We've got 17.5 minutes into this race so far, only 12.5 minutes to go. Let's see if Mixter can hold on. I don't know if these two have pit. If Necky and Jeffrey have pit, then Mixter's going to be in some trouble. But if they haven't, then he still has a chance to take home this win today. Let's see exactly how he makes his stick. But you can see they are so close. Jeffrey is right there. Is he going to make a move on the inside? He doesn't. He gets back on the line. Necky right behind. Mixter is still held on for this little part of the track. He goes a little bit wide. Mixter goes wide. Mixter goes a little bit wide. Jeffrey still tucks in behind. He doesn't get quite in front. That is very, very close between the two. Mixter is doing a freaking great job of keeping these guys behind, but this is where it could all come undone. Jeffrey's going to make a slip out into the inside line there. Let's see exactly what happens to him. He gets up on the inside. Can he make it happen? He does. He gets right out in front. Mixter has the opportune line, but Jeffrey gets on the inside. He has to back off a little bit because Necky is now also on the inside of Mixter. He loses both. Jeffrey goes up into first, Necky into second, and Mixter drops down into P3 from the lead. What a great overtake by both Mixter and Necky and Jeffrey. Mixter got left in the dirt there, unfortunately. That, like I said, I'm so impressed for him to be holding on for that long because that is such a hard task to achieve. But well done to him. We've got 19 minutes into this race so far, and let's just see how quickly these two guys out in front pull away from everybody else. Mixter is still 9/10 behind. If he can stay close, he'll still be able to use that slipstream. That is going to be one of those situations that you don't want to get out of that because they're going to pull away as quick as they possibly can. That is going to be absolutely insane. Well done to Mixter. Great freaking job. Let's jump on board now. We'll have a look at Necky and see what he's doing with Jeffrey. We've got 2.5 tenths, 3 tenths. This is going to be very, very close between these two today. This is where P1 is going to be fought for. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of us are going to have the pace to be able to keep up with these two here today, but let's see exactly how they capitalize and see who can take the win for the rest of today's race. 2 tenths behind Jeffrey. He is very, very close. Necky is doing a fantastic job. Let's jump on board with him now. You can see exactly how he is going. Let's see if we can have a look at last and current sectors for Necky. We've got Necky and Mixter. We want to have a look and see if we can see Necky and Jeffrey. You can see Jeffrey is faster in Sector 1 and Sector 2, but Necky has made up more time in Sector 3. Jeffrey is still only a tenth faster in Sector 4. There's almost a set 2 tenths there on the table there from Jeffrey, which is just keeping him ahead of Necky, making it hard for him to catch up. But Necky's doing a bloody good job using that slipstream and trying to utilize that pace to get 4 tenths behind. Jeffrey's just done his fast lap of the race for 1:47 flat. That is a quick lap. Bloody quick lap by him. Necky 4.5 tenths behind. You can see now the sectors. We've got everyone. Jeffrey's faster in every sector besides Sector 3. Necky is definitely doing a very good job keeping nice and close, but this is where the slipstream is going to come into play. You can see here now he was 5.5 tenths, now to 3.5 tenths, and he's going to be trying to utilize this slipstream as best as he can, heading into the bus stop, doing a fantastic job staying nice and close. 2.5 tenths, he's right behind. Can he get a better run through the bus stop? We're still on board with him now. Let's see. Jumping over, nice and close. Jeffrey's line through here is absolutely insane. Alien pace by him. And look at this, how quickly he's pulling away. 3.5 tenths, moving it up to 4 almost. But Necky's doing a freaking great job of holding close. Let's jump now down. We'll see. We'll come back to these two later because I can almost guarantee it's going to be like this the entire race. Let's jump on board now. We'll have a look at Patrick right behind David. Look at the gaps. Look at the gain he's making going down into turn 1. He's right behind, 2.5 tenths. Can he get close to David? He has a little bit wide. David goes a little bit wide. That gives Patrick a good chance to get nice and close. Can he get up on the inside before this right-hander heading into the bus stop? He can. He gets right up on the inside. Well done to him. That's good overtake. Can he make it stick? Can he make it stick? He gets just out in front before the left-hander, right in front of David. David is not giving it to him. He is not going to let go. You can see David is nice and close in the car number 7. Great job by him. You can see the difference. Doing such a freaking great job. Let's head to the bus stop now. Let's see exactly what's going to happen. We're looking at Patrick in car number 30. Going through the bus stop, jumps the first part of the track. David gets left behind just slightly. No big deal, but he's still going to be in striking distance. You can see now David just peeling, getting left in the dust by Patrick. Patrick's speed through the bus stop is going to make him time. That is exactly where a lot of time is going to be made up, is through that bus stop section. So well done to him. That's a great line through there. Great line through there. We've got Patrick is buzzing a little bit, so he's going to be changing, coming in and out of camera. But we can see Necky now has done fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:46.6. I don't know how in the hell they are getting lap times like this, but that is absolutely insane. Let's jump to Sketch. Sketch is now coming into the pits to get his fuel. We are 22 minutes into this race so far, 8 minutes left, and Sketch is now coming in to get his fuel. This is where a lot of people's strategy are going to come into play. We've got Josh as well. Like I said, Josh as well now coming into the pits, and that means myself down in P7 might be able to capitalize and make up these two positions. I'm coming through the second last corner now, coming through the last corner in just a second. This is going to be very, very interesting. Last corner now through the right-hander. Can I get them both in the pits? We have Sketch now coming out of pit lane. This is going to be very, very, very close. Sketch coming out of pit lane. I'm coming through this part of the track now. I just passed Josh in the pits. I'm coming through turn 1. Sketch is going to be out in front of me on track. He is. Sketch is out. He's about 7.5 seconds ahead. But that gives me another position, puts me up into P6 after coming last at the first lap. This is going to be a very, very good race for me so far. I think doing a bloody good job catching everybody else. 7.5 seconds behind Sketch. Can I make up that distance? Let's see exactly how that goes. We'll see how that unfolds for the end of the race. Let's jump now to David. David is taking Josh. This is very, very close race between the three of them here. How the hell have I missed this? We've got David is the 10th. David is 10th behind Josh. Right behind him, we have Patrice. I think Patrice is up. Is Patrice up or is he down a lap? I can't even tell. I think Patrice is on the same lap. I think he's on the same lap. He's down in P13. I think he's racing for position right now. I don't understand what's going on. He's racing for position? He's down at 13th, but I don't know why he's a lap. Maybe he's a lap down. I think he is. He's currently a lap down. I think Patrice might have had some issues in a lap down. That's very, very confusing to myself. But you can see now David has just been lost to Josh. Josh is out in front now, and there's a little bit of a gap between the three. That is a very, very close race between the three of them. You can see David in the yellow car, car number 7. Very, very good racing. Mixter down at P3. What's happened now? Mixter is jumping to the pits. Mixter's coming into pit lane. That is going to give CJ an opportunity to get closer to him. This is going to be very, very close. CJ is now 20 seconds behind. CJ comes into the pits as well. Oh my God, everyone's coming into the pits. I might be able to capitalize here. I haven't had to pit again because I got fuel when I had to go off in lap 1. Necky is only a 10th behind Jeffrey. Where they're going through the bus stop now, sending these through like they're bloody spaceships. Absolutely insane pace by the two of them here. Nice and close. This is close. CJ is now in the pits as well. What is going to happen here? Is Sketch going to get him in the pits? CJ's in the pits. Sketch gets past him. Sketch makes up a position. Am I going to do the same? Can I get past him in pit lane? I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I can. CJ's coming out of the pits. I've just overtaken him. CJ's coming out. I've just finished going through turn 1. CJ's going to be about 2 seconds, 5 seconds behind me. Did really underestimated that. I've made my way up into P5 from coming last. Then we've got Sketch in 4th, Mixter on the podium in 3, and then Necky chasing down Jeffrey in P2. This is absolutely insane racing across the board today. Super, super close. David comes into the pits now as well in the 25th minute of today's race. David in car number 7 there gets to the pit stop. Like I said, we have fast repairs and you only need a little bit of fuel to maybe get 10 litres. You can see how quick that pit stop was. Full fast repair, got his full fuel to the end of the race, and now he's back off and ready to go. Let's have a look now up into Patrick in P7. You can see him chasing down CJ. You've got him 4/10. This is going to be very, very close. Let's see if he can make this closer. Dart has just taken David as well, coming out of the pits. That is a good start. Jeffrey comes into the pits. Jeffrey is now coming into the pits on today's race. Does that give Necky the chance? Necky comes into the pits. They hadn't pit earlier. Mixter has gone for the undercut. Can this capitalize for Mixter? Let's see exactly where he is sitting right now. You can see him coming through the left-hander through the trees. This is going to be very, very interesting. Mixter's coming up to the second last corner. Can he get close enough to them? Jeffrey's now coming out of the pits. Is he going to get to his pit box or already stopped? Necky has just stopped. Has Jeffrey already stopped? He's not. Jeffrey has just stopped now. Can Mixter get closer? Mixter spins! No! Mixter, what happened? No! Oh, Mixter spins! Mixter spins right before the second last corner. That's going to get Sketch closer. Sketch can be able to overtake him. Oh my God, Sketch comes close. You can see Sketch coming through. This is not going to mean he's going to overtake them. He's not going to get close enough. He's not going to get close enough. Oh no, you can see Necky and Jeffrey are now out of the pits. They're out of pit lane. They're back out on the track. Mixter is not going to be close enough to overtake, but now it has given Sketch a great opportunity to get closer to him. Sketch is now only a second behind Mixter. Patrick is 4/10 behind CJ, and I am 6.5 seconds behind Sketch up in P4. This is going to be very, very, very close for the end of the race. Mixter, can he hold on to that podium position? Let's see exactly how this plays out. We've got 3.5 minutes left of this race. Not a lot of time left at all. This is going to be such close racing across the board. Let's jump now. We'll get on board with Patrick and see what he is looking like right now. Right behind CJ. This is going to be close between the two. He gets the run. Look at this, 2/10 behind CJ. The slipstream here is absolutely alien in these cars, doing a fantastic job going through. Let's get the bus stop. Let's see what's going to happen. Too wide of the bus stop. He tucks in right behind CJ, tries to get on the inside. He can't. CJ blocks him off to the bus stop. Patrick still stays nice and close across the board. Let's see how he goes. Going through the carousel now, the right-hander gets on the inside line, powers out as quick as you can to try and maintain that pace. We've got 2/10 now. He is using that slipstream right behind CJ, doing a great job catching him. Very, very good job. Still 3.5 tenths. This is going to be close between the two. Can CJ hold him off for the next 2.5 minutes before the end of this race session? Let's see exactly how this goes. Rox out now, comes into the pits. Rox has had a couple of issues today with some spins, unfortunately, but she's going to get some repairs, get back out on the track and see how she can finish up today's race. This is going to be very, very close for P6. Can CJ hold him off? I don't know how this is going to go. Let's see exactly what the sectors are showing for today. We've got P7 is Patrick, and we have CJ up in P6. CJ is faster in Sector 2 and Sector 3, but Patrick's Sector 1 was almost 3/10 quicker. And we've got a car off track. That's Tim. Tim has spun. That was very, very close for CJ, and that has given Patrick a good opportunity to get nice and close. Let's see how much time he can gain before the end of this lap. We've got 2 minutes now, less than 2 minutes of today's race remaining. Let's see exactly what this last sector is looking like. We've got CJ was slower in Sector 4, which is different across the board. That is going to keep it nice and close, but you've got Patrick now, 1.5 tenths, 1 tenth. Is he going to make a move through the first section of the bus stop? Let's see, through turn 1, sorry, he does, gets on the inside, CJ gets overtaken, but he doesn't give it up. He's side by side with Patrick. They are side by side heading up into the round part of this right-hander now, heading into the bus stop straight. Let's see exactly what goes through. He is still out in front. Patrick is only a tenth behind. CJ is right behind him. They are so close, so close. You can see now CJ, car number 5, in the black and red livery, is right behind him. He is not going to let this go. He is not going to let this go. Let's jump on board with him. Let's see exactly what's going on. This is going to be so close in the last little part of this race. Right behind him now. Let's jump to the camera of the bus stop. Let's see him power through it. Right behind him, 4 tenths behind Patrick. 5 tenths. Patrick's run through here is definitely a quick lap. Definitely quick through the bus stop. That is going to be very, very difficult for CJ to catch him. That is going to be very, very hard. He's coming up right behind, 6 tenths. Let's jump now to Matthew and see Matthew is 3.5 tenths behind David. Can Matt get another position before the end of this race? We are down now into the last 60 seconds of today's racing session. Matthew is right behind him. Let's see how close he is. Let's see how close he is. We've got Matthew 6 tenths behind David. If he can get close before the end of this lap, then he could have a good opportunity to pass. Let's see exactly how this unfolds between the 3 of these guys here. We've got Matthew and David. We've also got Patrick and CJ. Jeffrey has just completed his fastest lap and the fastest lap of the race of a 1:46.66. That is only 1/1000th faster than Necky's fastest lap. These two's pace has been absolutely insane. Incredible laps and driving by the guys here today. Let's have a look at now. CJ, 3.5 tenths. This is going to be very close. I hope CJ can get Patrick. Let's see how close they can be. We're coming down now on the right-hander, last lap of the race. I think this is last lap, last corner, sorry. Coming through, I think they're going to get a white flag. I don't think they're going to get the checkered. Let's see exactly what happens. I don't think they've had checkered flags yet. We'll see. He's waving. He's not. This is white flag. We are currently on the last lap of today's race. Going right through, this is the opportunity. If you're going to make an overtake, it has to happen now. Roxanne is only 1.5 tenths behind Tim. Let's jump now to Rox. See how she's going through. Right behind Tim. She can see she locks up a little bit. We shouldn't have looked. I'm so sorry, Rox. I'm so sorry. But you can see her right behind Tim now going through the left-hander before ending the last little part of the track. Patrice comes into the pits. CJ is 4.5 tenths. Let's quickly jump to our leader and see exactly where Jeffrey is sitting on the track. You can see him coming through now. We've got the right-hander before you do the last little section of the track. CJ is 3.5 tenths. This is so close across the board. CJ still right behind Patrick, going to the bus stop now. He is 7 tenths. This is where Patrick pulls away. Patrick's run through the bus stop makes it very, very hard for CJ to get close enough to catch him. That is a very, very difficult run for him. Sketchkov is now 8 tenths right behind Mixter. Can he catch him? Can he catch it before the end of today's race? Let's see exactly how we go. This is last lap. White flag has been waved from most drivers. Let's see what is going to happen. He's nice and close, 8 tenths behind. Matthew comes into the pits. You can see him right behind there. You can see Necky out in the distance. That is not Necky, that's somebody else. Necky's way too far ahead for that to be him. I'm losing my mind today. All the crashes are killing me. Jeffrey has now crossed the line. P1 for Jeffrey's debut race, and he's backwards. That is just absolute disrespect. That is absolutely disrespectful to be in reverse across the line. The disrespect there from Jeffrey. Oh my God. Mixter now coming across the line. We've still got Sketch right behind. Mixter cuts across. P3 for him. Sketch in P4. What a win. What a job. Jeffrey in first. Necky in second. Mixter on the podium. P3 followed by Sketch. I'm in fifth. Just crossed the line. Finished myself there in P5. Well done to everybody. We've got Patrick now coming across the line. CJ can't quite catch him. I think CJ must have had an incident. He has. CJ's got damage. What's happened? Oh no. CJ last lap comes across the line with only 3 tires. Who had thought Watkins Glen would be just absolutely insane like this? Accidents galore. Jeffrey coming across the line in the win backwards. CJ crossing the line with only 3 tires. I spun out lap 1 and had to start from the very, very back of the grid. This is just absolutely insane. This weekend is not at all what I expected. Poor CJ's car is barely going to make it across the line. You can see here Bobby's front splitter looking like a mustache that hasn't been groomed properly. This is just insane. Absolutely insane. What a spectacle at today's race. Oh my God. CJ's going to try and limp this car all the way around back into pits. My God, what a bloody good job. I can barely drive a car that well if it's got no damage, and he's doing it with 3 wheels. That just shows the level of skill here in the Spud Cup. What a great race today. Oh my God. Let's have a look now at our results of today's race. We have our winner is going to be Jeffrey. Jeffrey has absolutely killed it today in his debut race in the Spud Cup with a P1. What a great drive by him. Super, super quick. Very, very difficult to catch. We have Jeffrey in P1, followed by Neki and Mixter, routing out P2 and 3 on the podium. Great drive by Mixter to maintain that lead for the first little part of that race and then come back still into P3 and almost catch them. If he didn't spin on that last little part, I think he would have had a bloody good job of getting past these guys and getting up onto P1, but great drive nonetheless. Sketchkov with a P4. That is back-to-back weeks of fantastic results by him. He'll be very, very pleased with that situation. I've made my way up into P5. I don't know how in the hell I've done it, but I have. That has been a great drive for myself without blowing smoke up my butthole. Behind that, we have Patrick, CJ, Josh, Dart, and David rounding out our top 10. There is great points on the line today, and everyone has definitely got some capitalization on those points this weekend. Underneath David, we have Matthew, Patrice, Bobby, Roxanne, Tim, JDM, Aiden, Matthew, and underneath that, we have Jake and Ethan. Unfortunately for Ethan, he could not complete the race, or Jake. Ethan's wheel has disconnected right before we started quali, unfortunately, so he did back out, but he was there nonetheless. Unfortunate for them, very poor situation, but unfortunately, it is just one of those things. Thank you guys so much for taking part in these Spud Cup races, and I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who raced this week. We had a total of 20 drivers join this session, which is just absolutely insane. So thank you guys so much for being part of this and joining in our ridiculous community league. Thank you so much for everything. You are incredible. If you guys want to watch more of these Spud Cup races, I have a full playlist here on the YouTube channel. Definitely go check them out. And don't forget to leave this a like if you enjoyed it. I would love to know what you guys think of these Spud Cup recaps. If you guys want to come and see these Spud Cup races happen live, we stream them every single Friday night. I will leave all the information to the stream in the description below. If you want to come and check them out, please feel free. Let me know you found this video. I would love to know what you guys think. If you guys want to join us on any of our other social media, I'll leave all the links to everything in the description below. If you want to stay up to date with all of the things that are happening within the Spud Cup, you can come and join us on Discord for all of our updates and announcements to be sent through there. If you guys like this video and you want to see more of my content, I post new videos here on YouTube every single week. Don't forget to subscribe. You don't want to miss it. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's race. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!